Parse Productions is back at it with the Northern Lights Disc Golf Lake Superior Open here. Brought to you by Northern Lights Disc Golf. Gotta go, gotta throw, and OTB Disc. This is Ben Kroll on the mic.
And Derek Sahr, and I am so excited to see what is going to be happening. These courses are stunning, and I've never been up here, and I can't wait.
Yeah, this place is awesome. A lot of elevation on some of these courses. It's just a fun track to play on, and this first one here, Hidden Meadows, this is just a sweet place. A lot of really cool holes like this first hole here, about 360 feet or so, really tight gap off the drive. If you go left or right, it gets you into a lot of trouble. It's really hard to get all the way to this hole, but you can give yourself a long putt at it if you really get a good shot.
And how many courses are on this property?
He's got 3 courses in total on the property. For our open division, we're going to be combining 2 of those courses to create our kind of old school OG layout here at Mont.
And stepping up, JohnE McCray. I know you've heard of him. That guy has been in the game for so long. Been playing a little bit of Masters here and there, but he can shred any pro.
And he's always fun to watch, too.
Oh, yeah. And hometown hero, Cale Leiviska. We all know he can shred some lines in the woods. I'm excited to see that M4 coming out quite a bit.
Yeah, it's your boy. Again, this is one of those holes you just want to get your 3 and kind of move on. You can give yourself a long look at it, but you just don't want to get in any trouble. And unfortunately, we didn't really have great tee pads for the round. He ended up putting concrete in a little bit after the tournament here. It just didn't work out with timing. There's usually a big Bow Fest event here every year right before this tournament, so they just weren't able to get the concrete into the course and get some real legit tee pads. But it's not too bad for us playing our first round here, so at least it's not beat in throughout the weekend.
Yeah, new tee pads sometimes can be a little tricky when they're truly freshly poured, and it can just be tough. So the dirt tee pad's never a bad thing.
Yeah, and Noah Meintsma, Alex Russell there, also rounding out the card. Both of them kind of finishing a little left there on the fairway. Shouldn't be in too much trouble.
Yeah, would you consider this a gotta get birdie? It seems pretty tricky once you get about 3/4 up that fairway.
It's super bonus because that first half of the fairway, like I said, left or right, it's all downhill. Again, we're on kind of the top of the mountain here. This is a really cool property because a couple of the courses are on the ski hill. One's on the main ski hill, so it's a little more open. And then one is a little bit more wooded because it's on the backside. And then this is like on top of the whole place, which is pretty cool.
Boy, in a lot of courses, you start at the bottom and work your way up and then play back down, but you're starting on top.
Yeah, there's a little parking lot up there. They have a big building. We call it the Big Lodge. And there's actually some cool animals there that are, what do you call it when they're stuffed or whatever?
Oh, like
taxidermists.
Yeah.
Good little jump putt there, and that's about as close as you can get on this hole. Like I said, it's really tough to get any more than about 50 or 60 feet away. Noah here coming back for his par.
Oh, just a little left.
These are the old school Vortex baskets, so they don't have any nubs on them, so you can get some kind of weird push-offs like that, and some weird bounces off the top of the rim.
Yeah, boy, it kind of almost looks like a Mach X in a sense with the cross chains there, but yeah, without those nubs. And I have played on Mach X's, and I do like them, and so I'm assuming this Vortex would be pretty similar.
Yeah, these things catch really well. It just gets a little weird off the top of the basket, being that it doesn't have any nubs. I think those sometimes can save you from getting some weird rolls and skips. Again, the whole card there, just getting their 3, moving on. That's really all you need to do on hole 1.
A little A-Russ action. Well, everybody but Noah.
Oh, sorry, that's right.
Oh, geez, Ben. We're starting rude already.
My bad.
And Noah, just a tough miss putt.
Hi, Jennifer Allen here with ParSave, helping them in a giveaway to thank you for watching. They're going to be giving away over $100 worth of their social CBD products and my 2018 Tour Series T-Bird and a Rock 3 with my world distance record stamp. Good luck!
Thank you, Jennifer Allen, there for showing off one of our true sponsors. They've been helping out a lot of our coverage here. Go support them. Social CBD in the descriptions. Here we have hole 2, about 270 feet or so. Plays closer to 300, I think. Kind of low ceiling there off the tee, and you gotta get the disc working left to right. And there's a lot of trees to miss there on the way.
Yeah, no kidding. How long has this course or these courses been in? Do you know about roughly?
I would say Hidden Meadows, I think, has been about 3 years now, I believe.
Okay, so it's still pretty, not a lot of down tree, a lot of, upright trees, I guess, and a lot of trees in the fairway as well.
Yes, and we did a lot of work. I know especially Lager this year, myself last year, but Bryan Lagergren, who has done pretty much all the work on the courses, built this place on his parents' property, which is, again, Mont Ski Hill. And they had to clear these, like the rough, quite a bit because it was pretty hairy the first couple of years. And it looks just beautiful this year. It's perfect.
Yeah, almost just like Cale's shot right there as well. Just a little deep.
Yeah, that was awesome. That's one of those old school M4s there.
And Alex, with a good forehand, a little surprised to not see him pull it out here, but maybe just has a little more control with that backhand on a slow turn.
It's not too bad there. He'll have a long jumper at it. And this is the newest course out of all the other 2 courses on the property. I think they've been around for about 10, 15 years. Don't quote me on that. I apologize, Lager. Again, I'm sponsored by Northern Lights, so
I won't take it to the bank. I won't take it to the bank.
Great shot there from Noah, throwing the forehand, getting right up there on the putting circle.
And Alex, representing Innova, got a really good look going with the green and the yellow, kind of matching the trees. Oh, just a bit high on that putt.
Yeah, I don't call this one quite a bonus hole, but you want to give yourself a shot at this one. There's Noah catching in on his birdie, making up for the last hole.
Yeah, it always feels a little rough getting a bogey on hole 1, but it feels even better getting a birdie on hole 2. You kind of just balance it out, make it just, you corrected your mistake already.
Yeah, it makes you think less about the first one. That means Cale and JohnE are up here pretty close.
And Alex coming back for his par. Great putt. And these guys just cleaning up. This is a little bit towards the end of the year. Is that correct? When this tournament came to fruition?
I think it was like late January, early August. And so it was pretty hot this weekend, if I remember right.
Late January?
Oh, late July. My bad.
Late January, Ben. Jeez, this is some crazy weather they're having for some January weather.
It was an 8-month tournament. It took forever.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but it was pretty warm this weekend. And this time of year, it's kind of humid up there as well.
And jumping into hole 3. It's just a straight tunnel shot. You just want to try to get it through. I mean, you're going to be hearing tunnel shot a lot at this course. A lot of trees, sparsely kind of throughout the fairway. But if you do kick off one and you get into the rough, it makes it a tricky par 3 to try to get your par with it.
Yeah, this one can be really tricky. Again, looks straightforward at 200 feet or so. Looks like I'm just going to get this one every time. And I swear I hit early every single time in this hole. And then you got like a 150-foot up shot. You got to throw through the woods. And we got our boy Jeff Ron with the evergreen stamp underneath the basket there, a little bit of elevation there. And there's a couple trees that the basket's in, so it makes some tricky putts.
Yeah, they do a lot of cool things out here as well, just like little things in the course that if you just pay attention, you can kind of notice them, and I like that a lot. A little personal touch to the course.
Yeah, Cale showing you how it's done on that straight putter shot.
Yeah, you just expect him to just nail these tunnel shots. Along with Noah as well. He throws these Novas so well. Case in point right there.
Yeah, just a little long. That's perfect. Again, Noah's also sponsored by Northern Lights Disc Golf, and we just added Alex Russell to the team as well this year.
Yeah, I actually haven't had a chance to meet Alex, but he seems like such a nice guy and a great competitor as well. I mean, we all know the Majestic champion of what year was it?
Was it 17?
I want to say 17. Yeah, that does sound correct. But
He's just got such a smooth forehand, and he is one of the nicest guys I've met on tour. So genuine. And he'll look like he'll have a putt there. True shouldn't be in the way too much. JohnE with a long bid here from about 55 feet.
I feel like JohnE is so good with jump putts. I wouldn't be surprised if this went in. Oh,
Dead center, just hit that kind of top chain in the top nub there.
yeah, I've had the pleasure to play with JohnE McCray at the GBO one year, and it was amazing. So much fun. Always in a great mood, no matter how the round is going. And he, that was like my first big tournament. He was talking to me, and we were just having a great time. And I couldn't do what Noah was doing here, though, banging big putts 2 in a row.
Yeah, it's solid there. Yeah, all these guys on this card are a lot of fun. Real nice guys, real genuine, and great promoters of the sport for sure.
And Alex, kind of what I was talking about, where you get off of the fairway and you do have a tricky par save, but no problem for him.
Yeah, just barely catches on. Almost pushed out on him, but great putt there from Russ.
And I really hope we get to see his forehand form soon. Oh, as the last chain holds on to that one. He has a very cool way to forehand. He kind of has that like hop, not like a step through. It's like a little crow hop. So
Yeah, and I always feel like that flip up forehand is just so smooth and buttery. I think it's one of the trickiest shots in disc golf.
Cale. These guys.
Yeah, Cale. Jaboy showing you how it's done. I could watch Cale throw putter shots all day in the woods.
yeah, and if you're like me, I would still never figure it out. But Cale out with an early lead. Doing all right.
Yeah, it brings us into hole 4. Again, you guessed it, another tunnel shot. This one's about 270 feet or so, kind of right between a putter and a mid for most players. I think the play mostly just goes straight down the middle, just hyzer flip. You could even get a little right finish if you're feeling lucky or not, but you don't really need too much on this hole. There's so many trees again that you can hit, get knocked off the fairway, and give you a tough look at a par.
I just love courses like this where it's punishing, very punishing if you miss your lie. I've played courses where they're beautiful and not so punishing, and so you can get your par up and down pretty easily, but courses like this where you really have, it pulls out every single shot in your bag.
It's all about precision, and this is one of my favorite competitive courses. Hidden Meadows here, it doesn't get much better than this. Cale just a little off, kicking left. Probably watching Noah throw a lot of these Novas here. And he's hitting early left. I don't know if he'll quite have a look at it.
I need McCray liking his lat 64 shorts. Those things seem to bring him a little bit of luck, and the long socks seem to be pretty key on this course as well.
I don't think it's a bad idea. Same tree Cale hit. Didn't get kicked quite as hard left.
And this just in our fact checker Joey. Alex Russell won it in 2018.
18. Good correction there.
Yep. Always fun to see him out, though, around the Majestic.
Yeah, I know. I was talking to Lager, and Russ was up at Highbridge for a little bit with him, helping put in baskets and everything, helping out on the course. Again, great promoter of the sport.
Plus, I mean, you help out on the course, and usually you get better kicks, right?
Yeah, you got to get a little love.
Yeah, exactly.
JohnE should be a pretty easy par from there. Cale have a little hyzer shot here from about 150. Kicking that last tree before getting to the basket. He's going to have probably a jumper left.
Yeah, just one to beat for him. Otherwise, he would be right up next to the basket. Alex just kind of coasting by with his pars at the moment. Really wanting to get on the board here at some point, hopefully.
Noah, the closest on the card here, shows how difficult this hole is.
Big stretch from Cale. Oh, just missed that. The height looked great, but just couldn't quite connect on the chains there.
And it's just slightly downhill on this hole, so all these guys kind of skated by. I'll have about 25, 30 feet left.
Oh, and Noah kind of got unlucky, but jeez.
Solid putt there from Noah.
Wow, very impressive. He does love those straddle putts, so he gets the disc so high. Not a ton of spin and jams it in there.
Yeah, dead center.
So does the wind play much of a factor since it's so wooded in these courses?
Not too much. There's a couple spots where you actually get to the Meadows, which is why it's called Hidden Meadows, where the wind does affect a little bit more. There's a couple tunnels as well, too, that the wind can come down. A-Russ, similar putt to Noah for his comeback, and again, dead center.
Easy peasy for these guys. I feel this is such a putter's course. You know, you could have a drive that is a little bit off, but as long as you're putting well, you know you're going to fare well at these courses.
Yeah, you kind of need the whole game at this type of course. Because getting off the tee is a premium as well, too. You're not having to scramble all around. Cale, unfortunately, carding a bogey.
JohnE with the par. Also, JohnE, to note, and hopefully we get to see it, he has a pretty crazy turbo putt.
Yeah, I want to see it. Obviously, I don't wish bad luck on him at all.
Of course.
Usually it takes a tough spot for him to be in to throw it, but we all want to see it.
That hole's showing its teeth. You know, a bogey and the rest pars.
Yeah, tough one.
My name's Scott Matheson, and I'm a calisthenics athlete. I train with rubber bands because they improve my strength, my stability, my flexibility, and I can take them anywhere. It's all about training smarter with natural movement. What I love best about rubber bandits is seeing noticeable gains in my physique and my athletic performance. It helped me progress from assisted movements to freestyle flow. Exercise your freedom and join me in the Rubberlution.
Brings us into hole 5. This is considered a par 5, and this is a long hole. It's right around 800 feet, but you really got to hit these gaps perfect. There's a little mandel tree as you get into this gap here through this tunnel. Opens up, comes over this ridge, and then goes downhill into this little pocket right before this tree line. And those last pine trees on the right there can really grab you as you're trying to get into the hole. This is one of my favorite holes on the property right here by far.
Wow, and just seeing that fly through, there's so many spots you need to hit. What a cool hole.
And you can get an eagle here. You can really get a nice straight shot and push up this fairway as long as you come inside that mandel tree. And it looks like Noah maybe finished left a little bit. It does kind of fall off to the side, that tree line on the left. So if you start heading off hyzer too much, you can really start getting downhill, and it gets tough down there. And there's another hole just to the side of this fairway. That's why the mandel trees are in play, so they're not impeding on these other tee boxes.
Oh man, this just looks so cool. I cannot wait to get out here and play this course, to play these tough par 5s and par 4s out here. You know, even the par 3s are tough.
Yeah, this course is just so fun. This is definitely, like I said, very eagleable hole, and there's another par 5 that is also, very possibility to get a 3, which is fun. And really all you need to do is just kind of get close to like where that gravel starts. You don't really have to get down the tunnel much at all to get your 4, get your birdie 4. And the eagle is just so difficult to do. There's just no real reason to push it. And that usually pushes left a little bit. We'll have to see if that caught the grass or not.
Boy, it seems if you do push left too much, you're pretty much forced to throw a sidearm down that little tunnel.
Yeah, or even just pitch out. I like this from Cale. Get nice and wide. Because because that's all you need. Even just getting through the tunnel on the second shot, 300 feet, puts you in a spot to get your birdie.
All right, coming out, boys.
Again, Noah really got left here on his shot. But he can still, if he gets a good shot here, get into a position to get his birdie.
Ooh.
That is very aggressive.
Just avoiding that little tree right in front of him, too. You can see the wind of the disc kind of wave the branches.
Yeah, you heard a nice shot there. I think that turned out pretty nice. Should be in the next meadow over. Cale throwing his H3V2, just going control shot. That's in a perfect position. Same thing, if you get pushed a little too far left out of this tunnel, you get into the tree line, it gets to be a difficult upshot.
Now, I understand there were tee times, so is this more of an afternoon tee time?
Yes, I believe these are the last guys to go out, so I think it was like 2 o'clock maybe, 2 or 3 o'clock.
Okay.
And it's just gorgeous. Look at this weather. Perfect
Yeah,
for these
no
guys.
kidding. Seems like no wind. Of course, what you said, January, the weather's great at this time of year.
I think that's just a little low there from Noah, but that had a chance of getting all the way there. And I agree with you, Derek.
If I stepped right there.
We were actually brought our kayaks up this weekend, and we're out on the water a little bit.
Yeah.
Getting confirmation from the group about something. It's always good to ask the card mates if you have any questions at all. Again, got just a little bit left off the tee shot, puts him along this tree line, but he could still get up and down. At least put him in a position to get up and down. I think it's going to be difficult for him to get all the way to the pin, though, from this spot.
Yeah, and not for sure, but it looked like there's that new rule, or new to us old school players, where like the paper length of a paper length behind your disc, you can kind of go left or right of it. And his foot was like a little right, which was within that paper length. So that might have been what he was asking about.
Yeah. I think that rule really helps when you're playing courses like this and you have to get around trees and stuff.
Yeah, knowing your rules and everything helps a lot on these kinds of courses. There's little tricks of the trade that you can pick up, and it really can shave a stroke or two.
Yeah. Good line there from Alex. Probably ended up about 35 short. And Cale can't quite see the pin from where he's at. Just makes it a little bit more difficult sometimes when you're judging distance or trying to figure out what line you want to hit.
Yeah, a little bit of a decline coming down off the second meadow.
That looks great. He'll be about 22 feet from the basket.
I also like how they incorporated the big pole on top of it, so you can. He might have. I don't know if he's able to see that pole or not.
That is very true.
That helps so much on a blind hole.
And JohnE, after 2 shots, being able to look at the pin, which is pretty nice, and he's sitting right there for his birdie.
Wow. And Noah in a great spot. It's easy upshot.
It'd be an easy par, and again, getting off the fairway initially off the tee shot. That's not so bad.
Just a little low for the birdie for Alex. And he's on that par train, man. It sometimes feels so hard to get off of that.
It really does, and it's one of those courses that it's even tougher to do.
Yep.
You got to throw good shots and usually hit putts to get a birdies out here. But 3 out of the 4 guys here all had looks at their birdie, attacking this par 5 very smartly.
Bird.
Solid.
High. A little high, but never a doubt.
Yeah, Cale even closer than we thought.
Noah and Alex just tapping out for their pars. Boy, it seems extremely hard to get birdies on this course.
Like I said, you got to throw good shots and hit putts out here. A great angle there on this camera view. Again, we gonna have a battle, I think, all around between these 4 guys. All know how to play in the woods very well.
All right, in hole 6, par 3, This one kind of dog's legs to the right. It's really difficult to get your forehand pushing that far right. So a lot of times people like to maybe throw like a roller, fast roller, turning over quickly, or just get something kind of swooping down with something very understable, like a mid-range or like a leopard of sorts.
Yeah, I think they have this one listed, just over 300, but the thing it almost plays like a par 4. It's just so hard to get all the way there to the hole, and you really do need that righty backhand anhyzer that just keeps rolling over at the end of the flight. And the end of the flight there on the green too, it gets really downhill, so sometimes the upshot can be tough. And this hole got lengthened about 100, 150 feet at least from where it was before, just to make it more difficult, especially for these open players. It's very common to push a little too straight off the tee shot, especially with how much power you got to put into the shot to get it all the way to the hole.
Boy, and I feel like a forehand would just die out too fast to be able to get all the way down there to the green.
Yeah, I actually was able to get this hole, but probably took like a 70-foot putt.
Dang.
Yeah, and that's the closest I had ever been. Cale about halfway to the hole. Should be a fairly routine up and down for him. And you see a lot of threes on this hole, I would say, more than anything. But again, it can be a very sneaky hole, and you can get a 4 on it pretty easily.
Meintsma.
No, pushing up there. It's kind of right by the tee pad of the next hole, but not quite putting, I would say.
Yeah, and these guys, you can kind of hear the nice shots and some claps. You're right. This thing does play more like a par 4, it seems.
Yeah, this is definitely a bonus hole here. And I've seen people get there with a mid. I can't.
Yeah, same here. You know me, I just throw a driver.
Yeah, boss every hole.
Yep, and the EcoStar boss, I just throw that and hope.
Yeah. JohnE going from a knee.
Yes.
Great looking forehand shot, and not sure how much that tree actually helped or not, but 20, 25 feet for his par shouldn't be so bad.
Yeah, he seemed to be pretty happy about that tree hit there. You could hear him kind of say, yes.
Yeah, the land definitely falls away there, left to right.
Ooh, wow.
A-Russ going for it, but he's going to have about 30 feet back with a couple limbs.
Yeah, pretty aggressive. For myself, I like to, honestly, on a shot like this, I'm laying up all day. But, these guys are higher rated than I am, and, they're always probably doing the better plays, so they know their game.
One, yeah, you got to know your game, and two, you just got to know the competition level, too. Cale really giving it a run. Skipped off of about 20 feet left.
Noah with the best look of everybody. Still quite a ways out.
And it's so easy to go long on this upshot when you're trying to run it. Very aggressive look, and he's back by where A-Russ is.
Yeah, wow. These guys are gunning it, and Noah's going to have some shul in his swing here.
Yeah, no, that was
but
awesome.
No problem.
Between the branches.
Yeah, JohnE rooting him on there.
Yep.
I love that with the card mates. Replay brought to you by OTB Discs. Again, check them out. Going to be a nice collab with Parsay Productions, so make sure you don't miss that. Noah, great look at that putt through the limbs.
And here you can just really see the difficulty of just getting a little bit off the fairway, even close to the green,
Yeah, there's just trees and shrubs and shul everywhere, like you said. God, A-Russ has a tough one here. Changing the side of the disc he wants to straddle from.
Look all good to you, JohnE?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Checking with his group. I like that. Making sure his footing's okay. Try to get the best window to hopefully hit this putt home.
Yeah, Alex. Good decision.
Yep, keeping that par train alive.
Yeah.
Which is not so bad out here.
Yeah. It seems, getting pars is still pretty solid. So he of course he wants birdies, but he's not too upset with just taking a bunch of pars at the moment.
Yep, again, this is just, no nubs on that top of that basket. It just slides right in like that.
Yep. Cale Hopefully won't have a problem here. Nice and easy. Oh, yeah.
Solid. And JohnE from, I believe, a similar distance here, coming downhill.
Yeah, it's so cool to see, JohnE McCray and Alex Russell up here playing this tournament. These guys they're full-time touring pros, and they're coming up to play this beautiful property. And
Yeah.
they could have chosen, I'm sure, something with more money added or anything like that, but they chose this one, which is so cool.
Yeah, and Lager does add quite a bit of money to this one. Don't be mistaken.
Correct. Yes.
And this is just such a great place to be. It's just cool to see what Lager's grown here. One, with this property, and two, with the disc golf here in the Superior, Wisconsin area. I'm sure you guys saw him on the new U-Disc, small town disc golf places, and they were up there, I think, in the top 3 even.
Yep.
Again, Superior, Wisconsin, and we'll see the Superior Municipal course as well too, which he donated 9 baskets for. So Lager's doing big things up here in the Superior Duluth area.
Did they shoot that commercial at this course, Ben?
Not that I know, but it looks familiar.
It does. What a great place to be able to put up a hammock, though, you can put it up anywhere on this course.
Absolutely.
So beautiful.
Especially here on hole 7. About 350, 360 feet. Plays out to another one of those meadows, and this is just deceivingly longer. It just feels like it plays closer to 400. The straighter shot is better, but you do want a little finish on the disc. If you go a little too far left, there's a ridge line again that starts to go downhill. Can get a little tricky. Catching that last tree out and getting right to the top of that ridge line, about 70 short or so.
Yeah, I kind of like that they do play with the meadows quite a bit. You're shooting from the woods and into the meadow, or vice versa on a lot of these holes. It creates a lot of variance to your shots and shot selections, and even wind tunnels. You may not see any wind here, but it could be windy out in that meadow compared to what you're feeling in the woods.
Yeah, I believe there was a slight headwind on this hole. Again, these guys having to throw off the gravel. Next year we'll have some actual concrete tee pads I'm excited for. Dang, Cale getting right up there, about pin height, probably 25, 30 feet right.
Jeez, what a great shot.
A lot of speed on it still, too, at that point.
Great shot, Noah.
Pretty looking shot. I think Noah might have gone with even just a fairway driver. Might have been why he came up just a little short.
Yeah, he does like to throw a lot of fairways and, of course, those Novas. But, yeah, you're right. You just kind of need to flip up just for a quick moment and finish a little bit. But there's also that thick grass to that kind of dirt that Noah didn't quite get to. That might have pushed him up a little bit further.
Yeah, like I said, this hole is just deceivingly longer than it states it is. And there's same thing with Alex. Just another 5 feet. It looks like it's going to hit that kind of harder pan and get a little action towards the hole. Oh,
we get to see it. Here we go. This could go in. He is one of the best. Oh, just a little too much Annie, but
yeah, and that was a long shot. I mean,
Yeah.
like, he had to put a lot into that. You could tell.
I couldn't even get it halfway to that hole doing that.
Alex probably just outside the circle there, smashing his putt. No, probably just inside the circle here. Yeah, those are some great birdies there.
Yeah, wow.
And this is one as a pro player, you want to come up to it and really give yourself at least a putt on this hole. Cale in a tricky spot, kicking right off that tree. But 23 feet away.
Yeah, it looks like... Is there some sort of... Is that like a swamp back there, or is that just... Oh, no.
It's just some tall grass. You can see it's a little windier out here like we talked about in this meadow. Might have been on his mind.
JohnE, I'm sure, find to collect his par from where he was. Cale not too happy about missing that putt.
And there's just so many holes out here where, like, you're gonna get 1 or 2 birdies, and everybody else is gonna get like a par or be scrambling and get a bogey. This is just a challenging, competitive course for these pro players.
Yeah, and these guys are playing very clean. I mean, 2 down, 1 down, I mean, 1 stroke separates them. They're all playing very clean golf, especially in a tightly wooded course.
Yeah.
All right, hole 8. So this one, another dogleg right. Looks like it could favor the forehand even a little bit more because you have a little bit more room for it to fly. But the backhand turnover is also favored. It's quite wooded. Kind of just hoping to get through this little gap here and land it near the basket.
Yeah, this is almost like a par 4 again. It's just so hard to get all the way there. I think I've gotten it once, maybe from like 60 feet. I've only seen one person get up there within 30 feet, I would say. Noah getting a great skip there and catching a tree, but again, should be pretty easy up and down from there. You're not going to see a ton of bogeys on this hole unless you kick an early tree or start cutting the corner a little too early. But it's just so difficult to get all the way to this hole. Usually a fairway driver is what most of these players are throwing. I think Alex might even be just throwing a mid here and just saying, hey, what? I'm just going to get my 3 and move on.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. And he got past the first gap, which is kind of all you want to do when you're really just sacrificing the par.
Yeah, once, like you said, get past that first gap, it opens up a little bit more. There's a couple lanes you can take.
Sneak attack.
Dang, JohnE, I think if he missed that last tree.
Yeah, you could see him. He really cut the corner tight, but that's what you got to do if you want to get all the way there. And just catching one of those late trees. Should be about where Noah was.
Cale, really good at that turnover shot. Like to see one get clean and have a look.
And that was the shot, that kind of forced over straighter disc that can pan out. And he just same thing, kicked that tree that JohnE kicked and pushed left. He might have a tough spot from over there.
Wow. Very flippy stand-up putter. Just pulled it a little bit too much.
And got the perfect kick back to the hole. He's clapping at himself. You know that he knows that helped quite a bit. Again, Cale getting into a really weird spot. Hitting the exact same tree that JohnE hit even. And that is perfect.
Are you kidding me?
That was insane.
You can kind of hear him giggling about it like, are you? Whoa.
God, he had to get out of the bushes. There's another lane he had to hit too. All off a knee, and there's Noah giving it a good little run. It's another hole. It kind of gets downhill towards the basket, so you can really push past the basket if you're running it and give yourself kind of a tricky 20 to 30 foot look back at it for par.
Yeah, I'm a bit curious to see what JohnE does here. He is known to be a bit of an aggressive player, so he might be running this.
And he got up here a lot further than I thought, and he was definitely running it.
Yep.
Just catching that tree, but the line looked really good.
Alex, great par save. He was, the furthest one out. Wonderful job.
Yeah, but even though a couple of these guys made it tough, they're all going to get their par and move on to the next one, it looks like.
Boy, they kind of have these tweener holes that are too difficult to be a par 3. One or 2 people may get it during the tournament, but not difficult enough to be a par 4. I really like it that they keep it a par 3, though.
Yes, I think this course, it's hard to call them tweeners because they're all gettable. Like, we
Correct,
can all get
yes.
there, but there's just so many trees to just weave through, and then you're scrambling, if you get off the fairway too much.
That great follow through that JohnE is known for, and I'm sure his wife was on the bag as well during this coverage.
Yep, she always is, it seems like. Brings us into the final hole of our front nine coverage of the first round, hole 9. It's kind of another one here that is a very difficult hole to get your deuce on. I've seen Brian Freese park this twice when we played this in the day. Got the birdie both rounds. It's just absolutely crazy, but most people are getting to about 150 feet short and then getting up and down from there. It goes slightly downhill the whole way. There's a little bog, little swampy area just off the tee pad here to the left. That only is really in play if you get kicked bad.
So
and
you're
you see
saying
how tight this is too off the tee, and you really got to get it going hard left right away, but not finish too hard left like Noah's was doing. Got a nice little kick back, but you want to also like straighten out once it gets down into the gap.
So you're saying you got to be Canadian to birdie it?
A. Yeah, Brian's one of my boys. I always like seeing him up here. Probably a little bit shorter drive than some of the Twin Cities.
Yeah.
Course he has to go to.
Quick little side note, I messaged him and he said this travel's tough this year with everything going on, so he wanted to get down more, but just wasn't quite able to.
Yeah, it's unfortunate being stuck up there in Canada. Alex with a great line here. That's kind of the shot.
Wow.
And he might have a long outside jumper at it, but even that's still 80 feet short or better.
Boy, this hole really does play to the left. These guys.
But look at JohnE here. You throw it too straight, hit one of those first trees, and he's going to have a tough time getting up and down from there.
Now, is this quite downhill as well, or on a decline of sorts?
Yep, once you start getting into the tree line, it's a slow decline the whole way down to the hole, and even the basket, too, is on a little decline.
Cale hopefully looking to be a little more left and tighter than JohnE.
I like that. And that is a great shot.
Wow.
It's up there even closer than Alex, maybe 60 feet away. But he did have to get through a couple trees even to get there, and that's what makes this hole so difficult. This is the line you have to throw, and then the slight decline the whole way, too. The disc literally likes to fall back.
And the trickiness of this course, hitting a bit early and having to scramble to save your par.
Yeah, you need forehand and backhand to really scramble out here for sure. Great looking line from JohnE.
Oh my gosh.
Nice soft finish there too, and stayed pretty close. That is, he made that look pretty simple,
That
but he had to
is
hit a line on the right side there.
Crazy.
Noah knows how gentle this shot has to be. Great weight on that.
Yeah, it really looked like Noah fluffed that, like just ever so slightly, and those Novas, they stand up and they just glide. They're a lot like an ultimate disc.
Yeah, I like how he holds that finish, almost like the gooseneck of a basketball shot, but he holds that extension of the fingers and the wrist. Alex giving it a look there. He might kind of push and roll away just a little bit. Maybe a little comeback putt for his par.
Man, it'd be so cool to see Cale get this.
It's a big bonus hole here.
Oh,
He got in the way. I didn't even see it go in.
I know. Come on, Cale. Videography 101. Don't get in the way of the camera.
God, that was money, though. Great little step putt from Cale, and I think I've said it before on coverage. He has been hitting a lot of those this year.
Yeah, he's been, I believe you said, working on that step putt, and you can definitely see it right here. Good pace.
Gotta go, gotta throw right into the basket.
What a wonderful putt by Cale. Jeez. JohnE and Cale showing why, they still got some game behind them.
Yeah, these youngsters aren't just going to take it from them, that's for sure.
Absolutely not.
And Cale hitting the deuce, and there's going to be a couple long par putts back, I feel like, from a couple of these guys. Definitely some testers.
Great putt by JohnE.
Yep, always goes through that routine. very solid on the putting green for sure.
Yeah, and JohnE has been known to be a headphone guy as well. So a lot of times he usually keeps one headphone in and has one out to, converse with the card mates and everything. Well, it's a little high.
A little high as well from Alex, but it's sticking.
Yep.
Again, as Noah's putting in his par, just want to thank our presenting sponsors, Northern Lights Disc Golf, Gotta Go, Gotta Throw, and OTB Discs. Again, go check them out in the descriptions. We'll have links to all of that. And again, we're going to have a good battle all around here. Cale taking the early lead on the front 9. But we're not done yet. We got the back 9 and a couple other courses here we have to watch for the Lake Superior Open.
Wow, yeah, no kidding. I cannot wait to see the rest of this coverage. Signing off, Derek Sahr.
Ben Kroll here, guys. Make sure you come back.